Good morning. Happy Tuesday. This message is for you current and future entrepreneurs. I want to talk briefly about that strike that you're hearing about the port with the international longshoremen. Hopefully that gets resolved because that is going to affect our country, in about a week if they don't find a resolution. What I want to speak on is how do they get there? The media sometimes doesn't report everything, or maybe they don't get the information, so sometimes it's better to hear it right from one of the people involved. I was listening to this gentleman that worked there last night, and he made a couple good points. He was saying, one, they worked through COVID. A lot of people forgot that they weren't able to stop, and the reason why is a lot of the medicines, and he gave an example, blood coming through the port that they have to get transported to a hospital to save lives. They don't have an option to strike. Well, they did, and the reason why I feel exercise that option is it's the thing that has been in society since the beginning of time, which is people do not like to feel underappreciated. And that happens if you have a bunch of fat cats or executives not being in tune with their culture, not communicating with the troops, not being with the troops, and basically working in an ivory tower, and all they're looking at is spreadsheets. You can't run a business that way. You have to be involved with your people. You have to understand the culture. You got to know if your troops are upset, all that stuff. And if you can't accommodate the things that are making them upset, if you're unable to give the pay increases that maybe they think you should, well, the only way that's going to get fixed is you got to be transparent, open, and honest. You can't duck things. People can sense things. Most people can feel and hear if you're shooting them straight. I just want to leave that message that when you're running a business, the one thing that I feel a lot of people are uncomfortable with is the transparency, the money. How's the company performing? How are we doing? You can't be that way. You have to trust your team. You have to trust that if you're in a moment of you're kind of struggling, or you're just kind of bobbing along and you're behind the scenes working on things to get you out of that situation, you got to have faith that your team will understand it and they'll be with you. And if you obsess too much about that question, then you're not going to get anything done, because you're going to be kind of like this. You got to double down, keep pushing, and be transparent. And 9 out of 10 times, it'll work for you. Have an awesome Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your week.